Why are 95% of projects failing? Per the recent research from MIT, McKinsey came out with a report saying that only 15% of companies are reporting some type of improvement or adoption to AI. And what happened was a lot of these enterprise companies jumped right in to the AI hype, and they're hiring these very smart engineers and technologists to come in and build AI business use cases. But what happened was they didn't align to real business use cases. And what I'm seeing is I've been working with over 400 different executives and leaders. I've trained over 3,000 employees and just upskilling and understand what is AI in the last 2 years. And the boom has only been around for maybe the adoption, I say the last year and a half, going into like small businesses and mid-market. Yeah, enterprise were the first one to adopt because they have the budget and the foresight to do that. But the technology that 2 years, a year and a half ago to today has easily 10x, 20x in capabilities, right? Like we're constantly chasing after or evolving the capabilities of the workflows that we might have built 6 months ago. They're antiquated now. And people still don't really understand what is AI, how it works. They think it's just a chatbot. It's way more than just a chatbot. When you start to understand its capabilities and the features, but also most importantly, the security and also the hallucinations and the errors and the things that it cannot do well, then you weave that into your workflow infrastructure. Now you start to see the value. You start to figure out the ROI of AI and generative AI. I think a lot of people didn't know how to figure that out because they just wanted to get ahead and try to be competitive, but at the detriment of actually having your people adopt it, understand it. You can't just get 100 licenses to Copilot or ChatGPT and just expect everyone to know how to use it. There has to be training and upskilling involved, right? You also have to get buy-in. There's a lot of people fearful about their roles and jobs of AI replacing them. You see it all over the news with the future of work. But understanding exactly how it augments and supports your role is what's going to make you a wiser and better employee. But it comes from the top down, leaders. So that's why the conversations I have with a lot of leaders is, how do we use this safely? What can we, before we go all in across the company, what departments or business use cases can we sample out to see value or adoption before we actually deploy? And that's the right mindset to do it. But the key thing with this, I call it the front of the house AI, is like working with strategists and consultants and those who understand business, who can speak to leaders and C-suites and then translate to them what it means, the complexity of AI in a very pragmatic layman's terms. So then when you're ready to do a program, you bring in now those technical experts, right? The engineers, the data scientists, to then build out these workflows. And that's why these failure rates in these programs, because you get all these smart people coming in and building out. They're the builders, right? But they're not the strategists, they're not the folks actually aligning it to business values. That's why there's two sides of the AI coin, that it takes a team of experts to come in, not just profound, respectable AI IT company. You need to have those leaders and strategists who understand the domains of those departments, right? What executives are going through, or what sales teams are going through, or what marketing teams are going through. Those who have that insight, and then they weave in AI, or they partner with other AI companies to deliver those solutions. But what I'm seeing really only maybe 5% of clients I'm working for, and even reading a lot of the different news out there, about 5% or so are ready to actually do the whole infrastructure. People feel like they're behind, but you're not behind. It's constantly evolving. There's always newer things coming out. You have to be agile, and you have to understand like what the capability is so you can evolve and adapt. Majority of the folks, and 95%, it's still literacy. It's still upskilling. It's still understanding what this tool is at its fundamental, foundational level before you can then use that as a catapult, or the catapult to then do projects. To then, okay, let me try, now that I understand generative AI and we can also do these videos, maybe I weave this into a workflow that we have now, and could that save us 30, 40, 50, 60+% of time and focus? And those are the pilots and trials that you should be doing within your company to first understand how it works for yourself, but then also get adoption. You want to get wins within your company first before you fully go all out across the board within your company, because it's too much to do and take, especially with a lot of different employees who are reading the news, the propaganda, the hype, and they're scared to understand, what does this mean for their job today? Even as leaders, what does it mean for your job today? And talking to a lot of executives, they want to feel competent and confident in leading the charge within their company, but also for themselves. How do they use it for themselves to be better leaders? When you're thinking about projects and you're trying to hire a company and you're like, oh, I need to find a company that specializes in this niche or delivers and works with like product teams. You're not going to find many of those right now because, again, it's only been out for 2 years or so. The knowledge of AI, of course, AI has been around for 50 plus years, but just the popularity of it's only been around for about 2 years. And just the last year or so, when people are now starting to embrace it and test it into their companies, you won't find a lot of companies out there and experts to have a plethora of examples. But what you want to hire for is capability, someone that understands your needs, understands where your business is going, the security and safety measures needed to deploy these properly. So getting the skill sets and capabilities and understanding the features, those are the types of firms and consultants and experts you want to hire. And then they have to partner with your department, with your industry to then find the right use cases. And what I'm also seeing as a trend is as people are hiring even full-time, these AI experts into their companies, it's not just having a department that does it all. It's having these AI experts partner with each individual department. So having someone to be either as an advocate or champion or as a task force in each of the departments to help tease out and uncover the use cases, guiding that department, and then coming out with the right plan and strategy and then deploying different things as test pilots and then tracking all of it. When you try to just bring that one person in to do it all, it's got to be hard. They have to partner. There's also skin in the game where the department heads have to be involved in collaborating and experimenting and thinking through these opportunities of AI to weave into your company, because it is going to be weaved into our companies either with planning or it's going to be it's already infused into technology. We see it in Google. When you're doing Google searches, we see it on our phones. It's everywhere. So we have to figure out how to embrace it and take bite-size adoption so that people are not feeling overwhelmed. And then from there, it starts to accelerate. And that's what I'm seeing as we're doing these like workshops and multiple months of upskilling and literacy. Once you get people using and understanding and feeling comfortable, they're empowered to then expand and then come up with their own ideas. But of course, with the safety net of still having that either AI advisor or firm or team there to validate what they're thinking so that you're deploying things safely and then you're iterating, adding it to your standard operating procedures, updating your handbook, of course, in your policies so that it's secure because people are bringing in their own tools and they're using it and they're not even properly trained on it. So there's a lot of moving pieces here, especially with AI changing and updating probably every month or so. So there has to be a policy in place, a task force and committee in place so that as things are evolving, you're prepared to evolve with it. No matter if you're a small business, medium-sized, or enterprise, these are the standard and foundational pieces that everyone needs to consider. Especially, I have 4 kids, and for myself, I'm constantly telling my kids about understanding what you can trust on the internet, how to validate things, especially now the image and videos are so advanced. You can't even believe what you hear, read, or see anymore. And what we write for creating content, most of us are in one shape or form, in thought leadership. How do we validate that information is accurate? It's okay to use AI to help you ideate and do content, but you still need to have that human person in the loop to make sure the information is accurate, it's on brand tone, and you're really augmenting the work that you're doing and we're being more productive, but we have to do that in a safe and accurate way. Any questions that you guys have, love to talk shop about how do we safely enhance what we're doing for the future of work, and we're all learning together. Good luck.